Shouldn't skipping to payday be as easy as skipping to the next song? Introducing MyPay from Chime. Get up to $500 of your pay before payday. Get paid when you save with MyPay. Start at Chime.com. Eligibility requirements apply. Credit limits range from $20 to $500. Provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. and Stride Bank N.A.
At Sierra, discover great deals on top brand workout gear, like high-quality bikes, which might lead to another discovery. Getting back on the saddle isn't always comfortable. Good news is Sierra has massage guns. And chafe wipes, too. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
This is Optimal Health Daily. Your heart rate can say a lot about your fitness by Marc Bilodeau of FitTrend.com. And I'm Dr. Neil, your host and narrator. Hey there, happy Sunday and welcome back to Optimal Health Daily, or OHD, where I read to you from some of the most popular health and fitness blogs online. And with that, let's get right to today's article as we optimize your life. Your heart rate can say a lot about your fitness by Marc Bilodeau of FitTrend.com. Coupled with a fitness tracker and an app that can track your progress, you can gain valuable insight into your cardiovascular fitness and adjust your workouts to optimize them by observing your heart rate. So how can you use your heart rate to achieve your fitness goals? First, you should understand what your heart rate can tell you about your current level of fitness. Your resting heart rate. A resting heart rate is your heart rate when you are relaxing, such as lying down awake and not after recently exerting yourself. A typical resting heart rate for an adult is between 60 and 80 beats per minute. A higher resting heart rate may suggest your heart is working harder than it should, which could be due to poor fitness, stress, dehydration, or other health issues. On the other hand, it's not unusual for people who regularly exercise to have a resting heart rate below 50 beats per minute. Regardless, everyone's heart rate is different, and no ideal resting heart rate exists. Generally speaking, a lower resting heart rate usually means you're more fit. However, you should see a doctor if you have a low resting heart rate and experience symptoms such as fatigue, dizziness, or weakness. Your maximum heart rate. In order to utilize your heart rate to improve your fitness, you have to know your maximum heart rate, which is roughly the number of beats the heart makes in a minute under its maximum workload. There are several formulas you can use to calculate your maximum heart rate, although the most common formulas do not account for gender. In fact, a study at Northwestern University found that the standard formulas to determine the maximum heart rate for those identified at birth as female are too high. Regardless, these formulas are good enough to give a general idea of your maximum heart rate. 220 minus your age. This is the most common maximum heart rate formula. Then there's 207 minus 0.7 times your age. This is a more precise formula for those over 40. Then there's 211 minus 0.64 times your age, which is a slightly more precise formula for active people. And then finally, 206 minus 0.88 times your age. This is Northwestern University's formula for those that were identified as female at birth. Heart rate variability. Heart rate variability can provide insight into whether you're recovering from an illness, injury, or exercise. It can also track your levels of physical and emotional stress. It may even be a predictor of cardiac failure. You may have a heart rate of 60 beats per minute. However, that doesn't mean it beats exactly 1 beat every second. Instead, your heart beats in a slightly irregular, perfectly normal pattern. Heart rate variability measures the time between your heartbeats. Generally speaking, a higher heart rate variability is associated with better fitness, cardiovascular health, and lower stress levels. Many fitness trackers can estimate your normal heart rate variability. This can be useful since a normal or higher than normal number may indicate you've recovered from previous workouts or illness and are ready for more. On the other hand, a lower than average reading could suggest that you still need more time to recover. Heart rate variability is easy to measure using a chest strap or fitness tracker. In fact, it's a standard feature on most newer fitness trackers, making it easier to reference when monitoring your progress. Your heart rate during exercise. Depending on your fitness goals, you can adjust your heart rate by increasing or decreasing your effort while exercising. Training within a specific target heart rate can optimize different workouts. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, recommends at least 150 minutes of moderate or 75 minutes of vigorous aerobic activity weekly. On 2 or more of those days, you should also engage in muscle strengthening activities with major muscle groups. But what are the differences between moderate and vigorous activity? Moderate activity makes you breathe harder than usual, but you can still carry on a conversation. When measured, it's roughly between 50% and 70% of your maximum heart rate. Exercising at this target heart rate will improve your overall fitness and endurance. Vigorous activity is more taxing, and you'll likely can't say more than a couple of words at a time. Your heart rate is between 70% and 85% of your maximum heart rate. The difference is brisk walking compared to, say, running. Exercising at this target heart rate will enhance your aerobic capabilities and overall cardiovascular fitness. As your fitness improves, you may notice your workouts are easier and that your heart rate is lower while exercising. That means you're making progress. It also means you'll need to increase your workload to raise your heart rate. Tracking your progress. Tracking your progress can give you a bird's eye view of all your efforts. Not only will you see your progress, but you may also see early indicators of trouble. This can be helpful because you can adjust your workouts sooner rather than later. In fact, it can help you reach your goals faster. One of the easiest ways to track your progress is with an app. You may think an app is just something else you must manage. Changing your habits and shifting into a fitness mindset is already hard enough. However, a fitness tracker and other smart devices can update some apps automatically, making tracking your workouts, sleep, heart rate variability, stress levels, and weight trivial. As a result, you can monitor your progress and look for signs of overtraining, burnout, or fatigue. And as a result of that, you keep moving in the right direction. The takeaway. Your heart rate can be a good indicator of your fitness level. Generally, a lower resting heart rate and higher heart rate variability indicate better cardiovascular health for adults. By managing your heart rate while you exercise, you can raise it to get enough moderate and vigorous activity to improve your overall fitness level. Tracking your heart rate and exercise routine can show improvements over time and allow you to adjust your workouts to keep you moving toward your goals. You just listened to the post titled, "Your Heart Rate Can Say a Lot About Your Fitness" by Marc Bilodeau of FitTrend.com, and I'll be right back with my commentary. We're driven by the search for better, but when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging. 93% of employers agree Indeed delivers the highest quality matches compared to other job sites. One of the things I love about Indeed is that it filters out incompatible applicants. So when you're hiring, the process is much faster, and you only have to consider applicants that are already likely to be a great fit. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/health. Just go to Indeed.com/health right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/health. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Introducing My Pay from Chime, a revolutionary new way to get paid. Let's say new dates to your favorite band's sold-out tour drop Tuesday, but you get paid Friday. Life doesn't wait for payday. With My Pay from Chime, you can get up to $500 of your pay before payday. No interest, no credit check, no mandatory fees. My Pay. Get paid when you say. Start at Chime.com. Eligibility requirements apply. Credit limits range from $20 to $500. $2 fee to get funds instantly. Provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. and Stride Bank N.A.
Dr. Neal here for my commentary. When I would teach these concepts to my students and start talking about maximum heart rate, students would often ask me, so what happens if when you're exercising, you hit your maximum heart rate? Or what happens if you go over your maximum heart rate? Will you have a heart attack? Now, I know this question sounds silly, but it's completely reasonable. The answer, luckily, is no. If we hit our maximum heart rate when we're working out, the heart won't stop working or explode or anything like that. As today's author Marc said, maximum heart rate is just an estimate. So remember those equations Marc gave us, like 220 minus your age? These are just predictions about how many times your heart will beat in a minute when exercising at your most intense level. But it's basically a guess. Now the question is, why would anyone want to know their maximum heart rate? Is it useful? It can be useful if you want to know whether you're working at a high intensity. Usually when we start to approach our predicted maximum heart rate, it means we're going to need to stop and rest really soon. Or as athletes like to say, when we're reaching our predicted maximum heart rate, we're about to hit the wall, or redline it, or run out of steam. So if while we're working out, we're monitoring our heart rate and we see it getting close to that predicted maximum, like 220 minus our age, and we'd like to continue working out and not stop, we may want to slow our pace down to bring our heart rate back down. So yes, knowing your predicted maximum heart rate can be useful. Oh, and if you want to work out to the point where you start to approach your predicted maximum heart rate, or basically work out at a high intensity, please check with your doctor first. All right, that'll do it for today's episode. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing this show with someone and listening every day. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you back here tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.